Hello everybody, and welcome back to another CB ShowTunes tutorial. Now today what we're going to do is we are going to be using all the variables that we've learned inside the past couple weeks, and what we're going to do is we're just going to start creating a script for this game. Now keep in mind that we are going to just be setting up the variables today, and the more we progress throughout learning how to code, the more we're going to add to this game. So it's going to be a super fun process that we'll just keep moving on and on and on. So, ready or not, here we go. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to need to do is get a game object that you want this script to go on. So I created this pie right here, because you know I am loving pie. And I created this C# script called pie eating. Now to create this script, simply head over to your project panel, find the folder that you want to put your script in, which mine is scripts, right click, create C#. Once you got that, you're going to open it up in either MonoDevelop or Visual Studios. I believe you can also do it in Notepad++, but you know, that's you, right? Alright, so as you can see, I have an empty class here. This is a class that I basically just set up and I erased everything inside it, and we're just going to set up the variables that we created inside a previous tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about public, so let's go and put that up, and private. So public is basically a more accessible item or easier to use scripting variable, while private is more secure whenever it comes down to working with scripts. Now, these two different types of variables, they each have their purpose inside of Unity. In fact, they have their purpose in many different applications. But we're going to mostly be using public, mainly because we can actually access it at any time. And I don't think really any hackers are going to be wanting to get into this game as much. While private, on the other hand, is more secure. And basically, if we were creating a game like, say, for instance, Call of Duty, and we didn't want somebody tweaking some of the settings, then we would be setting those to private. So it really just depends on what sort of game you're developing. If it's something like a AAA game, got to be spread over to millions of people and you're afraid somebody's going to mess with it, you might want to set it to like private variables. But yes, more small time, you can set it to public without having any worries. But let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to create a public string called item name. This basically will be the name of our item. We're not going to give it a value, so we're going to go and close it off with a semicolon. The reason why is because we're going to edit this string in the inspector. That's one of the pros of using public. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a public int. We're going to say amount, and this will be the amount of pieces inside of the pie, or more like amount of pie that we have inside the game. And then, of course, we're going to create a public float called cooldown time. And we're going to create a private float called cur time. And then lastly, we're going to create a public bool called isEating. Alright, just like that. So these are all the scripts that we're going to be using inside our game, or at least most of the scripts we're going to be using in our game, variables I mean. And basically, we're going to go and set them up inside of the inspector. So we're going to grab our pie once more, and we're going to drag our pie eating script onto it. So as you can see, item name, amount, cooldown time, and isEating. And if you notice, there's a space between item name, which was not inside the script, as you could see. And the reason for this is because anytime you have a capitalized letter, say for instance pie eating right here as part of the script, and there's a space right there, it basically gives you a space inside the inspector, even though the space is non-existent. So it's a really cool feature. So let's go ahead and just give this a name. So we're going to call this chocolate pie, because I am a big fan of chocolate pie, just letting you know. We're going to say the amount, we're going to set it to 5. And the cooldown time, we're going to set to like 2. No, that's too long. We're going to set it to 1. And of course, is eating is equal to false. And that's all we're going to do for today's tutorial. Before we actually move on to working with functions and describing what those functions do, which of course will be due for next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys are looking forward to the next tutorial that we have, which is going to be super awesome. I'm super psyched for that one. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial, other tutorials that I've ever done, or you just have a question in general regarding game development or what you want to see on this channel, I'll be happy to listen to it, and of course I'll be happy to check it out. So if you like this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, check out some other videos, leave a comment inside the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time.